Hello friends, welcome to Tricks. Since prelims is just round the corner, I hope you all have started the revision and taking mocks regularly. If you still have not enrolled in any test series and worried about covering current affairs, then check our prelims 2017 test series where we have comprehensively covered the current affairs from July 2016 to May 2017. And if you are an aspirant aiming for 2018, then check out our foundation test series. Links are provided in the description. In the last video of our constitutional development series, we completed till Charter Act of 1813. This act was to be reviewed after 20 years and therefore comes the Charter Act of 1833. In this video, we will learn about Charter Act of 1833 and Charter Act of 1853. Charter Act of 1833 was also known as the St. Helena Act 1833. This act was important on various accounts. First, it put an end to the commercial activities of East India Company. Now, the East India Company was to become a purely administrative body. It provided that the company's territories in India were held by it in trust for His Majesty, his heirs and successors. Second, the Governor General of Bengal was designated as the Governor General of India. All financial and administrative powers were centralized in the hands of Governor General in Council. The laws made under the previous acts were called as regulations, while laws made under this act were called as acts. Fourth important fact was that Bombay and Madras presidencies were deprived of their legislative powers. The Charter Act also attempted to introduce a system of open competition for the selection of civil servants, but it was opposed by the Court of Directors, hence could not be implemented. A new member was added in the Governor General Council, the fourth member, but the member did not get the equal rights, voting rights in the council. This fourth member was known as the law member, and finally a law commission was set up under the chairmanship of T.B. Macaulay. This fourth member was not to sit or vote at the meetings of the council convened for purposes other than for making laws and regulations. So these were the important points of Charter Act of 1833. We will revise it once more. End of commercial activities of East India Company. Governor General of Bengal as the Governor General of India. Centralization of power. Bombay and Madras Presidency deprived of their legislative powers. And a new member added in the council. A law commission was set up. Since the open competition for civil services could not be implemented, so if the question will come, we will refer to Charter Act of 1853 rather than to Charter Act of 1833. Let us move towards Charter Act of 1853. Charter Act is considered to have introduced few firsts in the constitutional developments. For the first time, it recognized the legislative function of the Governor General by the expansion of Governor General's Council and adding 6 new members known as legislative councillors. It recognized the legislative function. There was a separation of executive and legislative function, and this new council was known as the Indian or Central Legislative Council. This legislative wing of the council functioned as a mini parliament, and it adopted the same procedures as the British Parliament. Thus, legislation for the first time was treated as a special function of the government requiring special machinery and special process. Second important fact related to Charter Act of 1853 that I mentioned earlier also, that it introduced an open competition system of selection and recruitment of civil servants. In the earlier Charter Act of 1833, one thing that I didn't mention was that Charter Act of 1833 allowed the entry of natives, that it barred any kind of discrimination based on birth, place, religion, etc. So in a way, it allowed the entry of natives. However, the system of open competition could not be introduced, and Court of Directors continued their system of patronage. But the Charter Act of 1853 abolished that system and opened the covenant civil services for Indians also. Third, the Committee on the Indian Civil Services was appointed in 1853, again under the chairmanship of T.B. Macaulay. Again, for the first time, it introduced a local representation in the Indian or Central Legislative Council. Out of the 6 members of Legislative Council, 4 were nominated by the provincial governments of Bombay, Madras, Bengal and Agra. Few lesser important facts are that it provided for appointment of a separate governor for the presidency of Bengal. It allowed the directors of the company to appoint a lieutenant governor. We know that the governor of Bengal was not appointed till 1912. However, the company appointed a lieutenant governor for Bengal. The act also reduced the number of directors of the company from 24 to 18. This act extended the company rule, however, did not provided any particular time period, which meant that the company rule can be ended anytime. So let us revise once more the important facts of Charter Act of 1853. Introduction of legislative function, open competition, Committee on Civil Services, expansion of Governor General's Council. Fifth important fact, introduction of local representation. So these are the important facts related to Charter Act of 1853. I will be making similar videos. I will try to complete the rest of the acts related to constitutional developments. Hope you like this video. I will also make a video providing a trick for you to remember the acts I have made till now. Keep watching and don't forget to hit like button, subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.